Titanfall 2! Titanfall 2! Titanfall 2! Titanfall 2! Hi there, Tyler from Tycade here, bringing you a brand spanking new review. This review is going to be on a game recently released to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and that's Titanfall 2! Woo! Alright, that's enough of that. It was developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts. I have a little bit of an emotional tie to the first Titanfall because it's one of those games that I could never play at my house because I never owned an Xbox One. But my friend did, and we play it all the time when we'd hang out. So it became an all-night thing of hanging out and dominating in Titanfall together. I always thought that the first game was good, but it was missing a few key elements that a game should have to be a full experience. And that's where Titanfall 2 needs to excel in for me to give it a big ol' passing grade. Let's jump in and see if this big metal bastard does its predecessor justice. Prepare for Titanfall, everyone. You guys should know the drill by now. I'm going to be judging this game off of a few criteria, and those are: story. Is the story good? Does it make sense? Gameplay. Does the game play well and function as a whole? Graphics. Does the game look good? Sound. Does the game sound good, whether that be music or sounds in general? And game modes. For the game-specific criteria, I'm choosing game modes, because for an online-based shooter, it should have more than one game mode to keep things interesting. Gotta mix it up a bit, you know? Each criteria is worth 1 point each and cannot go past that 1 point. Got it? Good. Let's look at the story first, which, yeah, this one has a story mode unlike the first game. I was so excited once they announced that it'd have its own single-player campaign. I had hopes it would be good, but I had to keep telling myself not to be shocked if it sucked, seeing as a campaign is something new for the series and usually, series firsts kinda suck. That's not the case here, though. Believe it or not, the story's pretty cool. You play as a guy named Jack Cooper, a rifleman for the militia who is supposed to meet up with a group of soldiers and ends up being promoted to pilot due to a Titan named BT-7274s, or BT for short, needing a pilot. His died. There, that's the beginning. And I don't want to spoil it too much because I want you guys to play it. Because it's good. It's short, only being like 5 hours long, but in that short 5 hours of playing, you begin to grow attached to your new Titan and friend, BT. The robot's really good at tugging at your heartstrings with its unknowingly witty dialogue and totally bro methods. I like it. It remains being a robot, yet slowly begins to show personality as he and Jack Cooper get to know each other. I'm going to tell you now that I give it a pass, because though it's short, you get to learn the game and how it's played, its new Titans, and even get a look at how the game's world works. Also, the characters are totally cool too. Gameplay! Oh, yes, it's so good. Oh my god, guys, I love it. The gameplay is where this game really shines. It's godly. It's perfect. It's like probably the best first-person shooter I've played since Metroid Prime. Ugh, it's so smooth, fast-paced, and the weapons are all well-balanced, and the Titans... The Titans. Oh, the Titans. They play really well, but there is one downside to the Titans. Their customization is terrible. What the hell, guys? Come on, you had one job. One job! In the first game, you could pick your chassis, and weapons, and abilities, and... it was so fantastic! In Titanfall 2, you get to pick your Titan, and depending on the Titan, is the weapon you choose. So it's classes instead of loadouts like the Titans in the first game. It's a huge downgrade, but I guess it's not all that bad. It keeps people from all selecting the best build and only using that one online. It makes it so people use the multiple classes instead of just using the one single loadout the entire time, and I can respect that. It was a choice, and it actually kinda works here. It's like when you play Overwatch and pick a character you really like. The Titans are all Overwatch characters, essentially. Each Titan, good at one thing, but bad at another. It's all up to the player to be good with that Titan and learn its abilities and strengths to overcome its shortcomings and weaknesses. Whoa. It's exactly like picking a character in Overwatch. I use Tracer and Junkrat a lot in that. And in Titanfall 2, I use Ion and Scorch, which are a lot like Tracer and Junkrat respectively. Huh. Now, don't think I'm downgrading the gameplay because it doesn't have the customizable Titan loadouts like the first game did. Because trust me, This game's gameplay has a lot to offer still. Because, though we lost the great Titan loadouts, we gained amazing pilot loadouts. Holy cow, look at it all! It's sublime. It's superior. It's just plain old grand. Oh, it's the best. They gave pilots priority in this by giving them new abilities to help them get around easier. Like the grappling hook, or my personal favorite, the cloaking device. Not only were they given these new abilities, but remember burn cards from the first game? Gone, finally! They're now ordnance packages given to you once per spawn, and when you get one is governed by the amount of time your Titan has charged for Titanfall. So the game keeps you fighting harder for when your Titan is ready to be called. It's a perfect example of how shooters should reward their players for doing well. Even if you're not doing so hot, the timer is constantly going up every few seconds, so you're for sure going to get at least one Titan per game, and the ordnance packages are there to help you out along the way. Oh, man, I love this game's gameplay, if you couldn't already tell. So pretty! I can't even right now, guys. Not only does this game play well, it looks great too. Oh god damn! The campaign missions look great, and the effects used to show the world working around you is masterfully done. It adds a weird, trippy feeling as you play. It's like it turns your mind upside down, and literally the world around you as well. Look at this! What is happening? Ah! The online levels are all beautiful too. Simply stunning for a first-person shooter. They're perfectly crafted to seem as if they could be used as human living spaces or battlefields alike. Seriously, I am blown away at how good this game looks. As I said before, I haven't played an FPS game this good-looking since Metroid Prime, and that game still looks great. Now, finish the segment, Tyler. Right, stay on task. The game looks great, and just merely looking at it makes me want to keep playing even more and more. Simple as that. I'm trying to judge on how the game sounds, and it's been difficult. The soundtrack isn't super prominent in the game, but that might be because I'm so engrossed in the game and the story of it all that I just don't notice it, or the sounds of clashing titans and gunfire cover it up. Also, yelling at the TV doesn't help. Stupid camper pieces of... The sounds of war are all there, though. The metal stomps of the mechs can be heard around every corner, which lets you know that they're around and ready to be pounced on by a nearby pilot who's lurking in the buildings around it. The sounds of gunfire and yelling soldiers taking damage fills the air and helps you figure out where the enemy might be, giving you the advantage to hunt them down as they hunt for you. The roar of explosions coming from nearby mech assaults and enemy confrontations clue you in on where the heat of the battle is happening, and sometimes where the battle ends. It's thanks to these wonderful sound effects and sound placements that help you become a great pilot and give you the edge in battle, because sometimes all you have to do is stop and listen to where the battle is going on. Just because the enemy is invisible doesn't mean that they're silent. I'm giving it a half point because it does have a soundtrack, but it's not noticeable due to how strong the sounds of the actual game are. However, these game sounds help clue you in on certain game elements that wouldn't be possible through visual keys, so I'm kinda conflicted on the sound segment of the game, because the music portions are really good. It's a shame that it isn't heard more throughout the game. Wowza, we got a lot of game modes, whoa! Not only did they add in a campaign, but they have 13, count 'em, 13 game modes on the online selection. Wowza, let's look at these, huh? Wow, look at them. Oh, there's attrition. Let's just play that. All I play is attrition. It's really all you need. It's all you need. It's so much fun. But seriously, they have a ton of game modes, so if you don't find at least one mode you like to play, then there's something wrong with you. Go home. Go on, you're a problem, and that makes me very sad. Go on, get out of here. The one problem I do have is that there is still no local play. Yeah, this could be seen as kinda nitpicky, but just imagine how awesome it'd be to have a 2-player local co-op game mode, or at least player versus player online, so that you and a friend can settle who's better at Titanfall. It'd make for a good decision-making game, like when you want pizza and they want chicken, but you only have the money for one or the other, so matching Titanfall would have been great for that. Am I the only one that does that with friends? Meh. At least they have a lot of modes to play online and a campaign, so I'll give it a pass. For the final verdict, I'm giving Titanfall 2 a 4.5 out of 5. Why didn't it score perfectly? Well, the non-customizable Titans and no local play were kind of a downer to me, and the soundtrack isn't really all that noticeable, which is also a bummer. But the game is absolutely worth your time, especially if you like online first-person shooters. Honestly, this game is miles better than any Call of Duty or Killzone I've played. And though it has some minor downsides, I actually enjoyed it even more than the first Titanfall. The game has proven to me that online shooters are still quite good, and still show some form of creativity. And Titanfall 2 is slowly working its grimy, metal hands into my heart and soul. Feed the beast. Keep playing, and let its cold, steel fingers grasp your entire being and consume your life, for Titanfall is eternity. What? Go buy this game. It's great. Thanks for watching, guys. I had a ton of fun making this video because Titanfall 2 is one of my favorite games to play as of late. Be sure to subscribe for more and follow me on Twitter at Tycade. I post a lot of my updates there, so to keep up to date with my projects and going-ons, go check it out. Thanks again, and have a stupendous day.